who is your top 3 pageant queen? So if you are to go for a date with Antonia for a day, just for a day, okay, just like basic date.
Okay.
What are the things that you would like to cover?
That's when the gym becomes a safe place for so many of. Well, most of you guys know Songa is an absolute machine when it comes to fitness.
Okay, who do you look up to like the most when it comes to acting? Like you want to pursue acting, right? So who do you look up to?
Well,
when it comes to depression, men do get depressed,
of course,
and we don't talk much about it. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and here we are in a really beautiful place. Beautiful, what do you say? Scenery, resort. And yeah, this is my first time doing a podcast, and then it looks interesting, I should say.
It's about time Songa did a podcast like this.
Exactly. So yeah, before we start, I just want to give you a short introduction about Mr. Jason. He's from Hyderabad. And yeah, you can do it by yourself. It's okay. Yeah.
Well, so hey guys, my name is Jason Dillon Bretfelean. I just won the Mr. Global 2023 competition, and it's been absolutely great. And I have the privilege to be sitting here with Songa. He's a very, very close friend of mine, and I'm super stoked to have this interview, conversation, very casual, meet up and just talk about our life and our journey and experiences and how things have been post our, pageant victories, and, see how we can give you guys a little bit of insight about us and our lives and how we do things, which is off camera.
Exactly. So yeah, it is also a privilege to be sitting next to Mr. Global, and we are having a global friendship bonding.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So. Yeah, as you know, I was also Mr. Friendship runner-up, and he's Mr. Global, so we are bonding.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we will be having a short interaction on different field. Yeah. So before that, let's talk about how your journey was before starting Mr. India. Like what inspires you to join this pageant, and why do you want to be on this particular field?
Yeah, well, I mean, it kind of started, obviously most of you guys know that I used to play professional football in Europe, and then that didn't happen because of various knee injuries and surgeries and stuff like that. So I kind of came back, and I had like a, sort of like a midlife crisis, and I was like, what do I actually want to do? And then that's when I, got the idea of becoming a model and then progressing to becoming an actor. And, I stumbled upon the Mr. India website, and I signed up for that. And obviously preparing in terms of physique, communication, all of you guys know that you're being judged on a various amount of parameters. So preparation for Mr. India was pretty much a major learning experience for me. I've got to learn a lot about myself and who I am as an individual. But of course, it's a relatively smaller pageant compared to Global, which is an international pageant. So once I had the privilege to win and then take that forward to go internationally, there was so many more things I needed to keep in mind. Primarily, you're representing your country,
correct,
and so many different people, and
it's a
cultures.
Huge responsibility.
It's a big responsibility, of course, and to be on a platform like that representing your country, there's a lot of importance and responsibility you have on your shoulders.
Right.
To be able to perform in such a manner where you are supporting the whole Indian culture. So that for me was something very humbling and something I've learned a lot from. And then of course I had the privilege to win the competition, and pretty much sum it up.
I think it is not only a privilege, it is meant for you. Right.
I guess so.
So if it is meant for you, then it's meant for you. Even though if you're sick, even though if you're And sure. I heard that you were not even you were not well, and you had a lot of struggles during the competition as well.
I did. I had a small bike accident prior to the competition. I think both of us had.
We had injuries before competitions. Yeah, that's
very
something similar. Yeah, we are quite a lot of things are similar within us.
How was your preparation for friendship? I mean, your progression from Mr. India to Global.
Yeah.
What did your routine or route?
See, I had a lot of time.
Right.
You had a really short time, but for me, like, you know, like I was 2021 Mr. India, and then from there I had like one whole stretch, like, you know, one whole year stretch.
Right.
I was preparing for 1 year, and then I went for Mr. Friendship International after a year.
Right.
Which is something, you know, good for me, I should say, because I got to learn more about myself after
Yeah.
Mr. India. You know, I did a lot of research here and there, a lot of, you know, like things I do, and yeah, that's preparation was quite interesting, I should say. And actually, I was supposed to go for another pageant, which discontinued.
Right.
So after that, Pankaj sir called me and he wanted me to go for Mr. Friendship, and I think that is something meant for me again.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and it was a really interesting competition. Although it's a like newly developed pageant. It's a new one. So
True.
yet it's a very big one, and it was quite interesting. I had a really good time. The contestants are amazing, and yeah, it was good, I should say.
Well, you made us proud, and you know we're
Making the country proud is something that
the
I've
best
always wanted to do as well.
Yeah.
And then like I've been always talking about northeastern states.
Yeah, I was just going to ask
yeah.
you, being able to represent your community and your people on that level, that must have been a really proud moment for you and the whole northeastern community.
Yeah, I feel like see, I was like honestly, I was me and my friends, two of them, were
Right.
the first Mr. India ever
Right.
from the northeastern community.
Wow.
And I feel proud to be the first person to win the Mr. India competition. And after that, the fame keeps coming, and it's such a really good, very good and interesting journey for me as well. And
Right.
to be able to uplift the northeastern community is something that I really love.
I know. It's probably like such a humbling experience, when you're representing so many people and you're the voice for so many people that don't have that ability to speak. And I think Sanga's been doing a great job.
Thank you.
Being that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, apart from the pageantry
Yes,
now, let's
yes.
talk a little bit about ourselves, like our lifestyle, how, where do you live and what do you do, and currently what is your profession? What more do you want to do in the days to come?
Yeah, well, I mean, most of you guys know I'm based in Hyderabad right now, and I've been there for quite a while. It's home for me, and now that the pageant is done, I am definitely looking at getting into the film industry, acting, and primarily penetrating into the South Indian industry.
Yeah, I look forward to see you in the big screen. Really.
Hopefully.
In Telugu movie, Champestanu.
Oh man, yeah. All those dramatic, I punch someone and the guy is flying across
Exactly,
the
yeah.
room. I know.
It'll
but
be interesting. Yeah.
It'll be fun. It's a very big industry right now, the South Indian industry, and that's primarily what I'm working towards. I'm doing a few classes here and there, and kind of just trying to. I'm still young. I have a lot of time.
Yeah. He's a baby. I mean.
I'm still a baby. Yeah.
He's a baby in front of me.
I'm Songa's baby.
Okay, who do you look up to the most when it comes to acting? Like, you want to pursue acting, right? So who do you look up to?
Well, in the Bollywood industry, Hrithik Roshan,
Okay.
Ranveer Singh. These are two guys that I've kind of looked up. Of course, these are more newer actors. I'm not too much in touch with the old timers. But these two actors, I look up to them a lot because of their versatility, and obviously they're amazing actors. They're doing super well in the industry, and I do aspire to be like them one day. But
well, I'm sure you will definitely get there.
I hope so.
You have been going for acting class.
Very. I wouldn't say like proper acting classes. I've been doing a lot of acting. I'd say acting classes for me, but watching a lot of videos, and brushing up on small things I can do from my end.
Correct.
Taking some time in a day and brushing up on expressions and dialogue deliveries and facial expressions to the camera and all of small stuff like that. Very basic. But I think I should be joining an acting school soon.
Well, I think it is also important because you need a little bit of learning when it comes to this, right?
Absolutely. I mean, if you're an actor, for me personally, I feel like if you're a good actor, it should be mostly natural. It should be just you.
Exactly.
I don't think that you can go to a school and overnight become an actor
A big
if it's
shot.
not already
Yeah.
in you. If you're not naturally a born
Yeah.
actor. I mean, of course, you can brush up and better certain things, but it has to come from within. But tell me about you. What are you up to right now? Aside from being Bangalore's heat at the moment.
At the moment. Well, right now, like I don't want to focus much on the modeling now because
Right.
like I've done a lot as well, and that's actually not my career, I should say. It's not my passion.
What's
Like
your
I just want to be experiencing all this thing.
Right.
Now I want to focus more on right now we're doing a YouTube channel, so
Yeah.
I want to focus more on YouTube. I want to focus more on my social media like Instagram.
Yeah.
And like I would like to go beyond that. Like maybe like my plan is to go abroad.
Right.
And do something outside India, and because it is hard for me, like for a face like this, to get into industries like in Bollywood or things like that. Even though if I get, I will be in a chai wala or
Yeah.
or
I mean-
or a side one, a friend of the main actor.
I still
or
think
stuff
you
like
should
that.
try it. I still think you could make it, but at the end of the day, it's your
Yeah,
call.
yeah. I mean, I can still try, and I'm also planning to, like you say, I am also planning to go for acting classes. But yeah, let's see. Like it depends. And
What is your calling at the end of the day? You can't change that. I think you're doing really well with YouTube.
I don't know. Yeah, like maybe
I'm pretty sure you know.
because
He's got lakhs of following.
so like I was not expecting at all because
Yeah.
like initially I started 2021 and I just wanted to make YouTube videos as into to promote our own cultures and tradition from the
Yeah.
northeastern states, and I
Yes.
started walking almost half naked in Church Street, Bangalore. It was a really gutsy thing. I should
know,
say.
it was.
It's really hard.
But people are not doing it. and you're
Exactly,
doing
people
it,
are
so
not doing it.
You're doing a great job with
Yeah.
that.
So that is how I started, and I have reached this far, which is like I feel like it's like a dream.
It's like a dream, I'm sure. Yeah.
But it's a dream come true.
It's a dream come true, absolutely. Well, most of you guys know Songa is an absolute machine. When it comes to fitness. So I think we all want to know, what is your take on a fitness or a fitness lifestyle, or your body and your diet and the gym.
Well, me, I don't do a lot of dieting because I just want to maintain.
Right.
As of now, because I'm not going for any competition or anything. I just want to maintain my body. I just want to have a little bit lean muscle and just maintain that body.
Right.
But it is very important to keep yourself fit because I started working out since 8 years back.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's been 8 years now, and then initially it was really hard. I was 50 kgs, and I'm 75 now.
Yeah.
And it was hard for me to start working out because I was lean and I was like only bones.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's
it
very
was
hard to
really
put on
hard.
muscle from that
And I sometimes I stopped in between like a week or 2 weeks, and I'm like, no, I want to get back again and again. And then I kept going again, and it became my lifestyle.
Right.
So fitness should be a part of your lifestyle. Like you eat food every day, it should be a part of your lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you don't have to do anything or much thing about it. You just have to go to the gym, pack your bag, water bottle, and towel, and go to the gym and just work out for 1 hour. It's about the priority. It's about priority because you have to prioritize your body first.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what I would say is just prioritize your body first and keep it as a part of your lifestyle.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it has to be something that it has to be drilled into your brain that
Exactly.
you need to do this. It has to become a part
Yeah.
of your daily routine.
Yeah.
If it's not, then that's where you lose consistency,
That's
and
true.
that's where you just start going down. And that's something I find in a lot
Yeah.
of newcomers is the lack of being consistent and disciplined in the gym.
Yeah. Like look at us, we have not been working out for 2.5 days now.
Almost 2.5 days
Yeah,
eating
and we are
absolutely
like,
everything.
shit, we want to work out, and we're literally eating everything that's
Our
around.
hands are itching to hold like a dumbbell or some weight.
Seriously, I really want to go back and start working out again because it's been Like two and a half days.
That's a long time.
A lot of
now
time.
you can tell how consistent this guy is.
Exactly.
It's been 2.5 days and he's already ready to get back.
I'm all ready to get back because we have been eating a lot of a lot of unhealthy and junk and so many
paneer, butter
food,
masala, butter naans,
a lot of oily
of
food.
that.
It's crazy.
Sounds so good, but it feels so bad. I think a very, for me personally, I keep, on Instagram, I keep seeing that, the fitness topic as a whole, I keep seeing a lot of people in this time, in 2024, a lot of people are actually starting to take the initiative to make an effort and go to the gym and start, getting that change in themselves. And I think us being people with a decent amount of following on social media, and of course us being people who are into the fitness lifestyle and are well aware with the basic knowledge about what fitness is, I feel like I'd like to speak with you and kind of give our side of what we actually think fitness is, because I'm sure you've worked with a lot of trainers, and I have as well, and you've done various diet shiftings and various training splits. I feel like I'm pretty sure people would like to know what our take on fitness, or what advice we'd have to give to the people or the fitness community who are just getting into going to the gym and starting to change their bodies or get better.
Well, see, making a body, it doesn't come like overnight.
Of course.
It takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And nowadays, youngsters, honestly, the youngsters, they want to, I don't know, like whenever they ask questions, right? Whenever they come and approach to me and they would say, can I make like a body like you in like 6 months?
Yeah, it took you 8 years.
It took me 8 years to make a body like this. And then they are saying, can I make a body like this in 6 months? I'm like, dude, you have to be patient. No?
I know.
Like, you really have to be patient in order to, get to the goal.
Yeah.
And you have to understand the fact that, our body doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
It's, our body is different, even though in the initial stage, like in the first 3 months, your muscle will grow like that.
True.
But it stops in between,
There's a
like somewhere in
phase
between,
after that,
where you, it will stop, and then you'll feel like, shit, it's not coming.
Yeah.
My muscle is not growing.
Yeah.
So that time, there are a lot of people who gives up.
Yeah.
And you should not be doing that. You should be avoiding from, giving up from this level, because like once you start working out, you should continue. Like you should let the flow go. Like otherwise, after 4 months, your muscle doesn't grow and you're like, damn, I don't want to work out anymore. Then you're not gonna achieve your goal. So let it go. Keep working. Keep your consistent. Keep it consistent, and you're definitely gonna, achieve whichever you wanted.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think you guys can take a lot of.
What is your say? You also talk about like.
Well, I think, see, for me, like he said, you get into the gym and there's a certain amount of time where you grow a relative amount of muscle and you do get, a little bigger in terms of size, or you get to see some changes, but you get that saturated or stagnant period where you don't see much results. And I think that's when you incorporate changing your workout.
Correct.
Shocking your muscles. Of course, you're keeping your diet and the amount of protein you're taking, because of course you guys need protein to build muscle as well as a balanced diet. But when you reach that phase, for me personally, one thing I've learned in the past 3-4 years of working out is, and this is something I say to everyone who comes and asks me about tips, the first thing I would say is experiment with your body. Because you can ask him, you can ask me, you can ask the most fittest person on the planet, but at the end of the day, your body is different, your body reacts different. So you need to try and test your body with, bulking, cutting, different calorie deficits and, calorie counts up and down. Your training splits have to keep changing until you come to a point where you realize this is what my body accepts, this is what my body needs to grow, and this is how it reacts. And I think that is the first step a lot of people should be taking in the gym, because when you go and you ask so many different people, you're getting so many different point of views of fitness, but everyone has their own reaction to their body. You're not gonna make a body like me with what I did.
Exactly.
You have to make a body on your own using your own methods, which you know your body will react to and how it's going to react to best.
You have to experiment yourself.
Of course, it's super necessary. You know, shocking the muscles, and of course, form is a very important thing in the gym. And a lot of newcomers really need to emphasize on their form, because one thing I've learned in the gym is the quality of training that you do is really going to determine the kind of quality of muscle you're going to build in the long run.
Yeah.
So
it's not about lifting heavy. It's about, you know, there are a lot of youngsters,
heavy.
they want to ego lift. Like,
I know.
Ego lifting, like, I don't know what they are doing. They're not even focusing on the muscle. They are like doing some shit.
It feels good, of course. It looks good. It feels good, I'm sure. But it's just not practical. It's science. Everything is science and numbers.
It feels good to be lifting heavy, but it doesn't hit the muscle.
But when you can, when you can,
only
lift
when
heavy,
you can,
then
exactly.
it makes sense to go and
or
get
how
that.
much you can
Of
just
course.
lift accordingly, according to like how your body can react.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you will end up injuring yourself.
Absolutely. It's a very stupid thing that I think a lot of people should, you know, not try and avoid ego lifting and lifting heavy unnecessary. And then of course, you know, you focus on your diet. You are what you eat is the quote that a lot of us, you know, kind of refer to. So, you know, having a balanced diet and being consistent with, you know, getting those amount of calories in is super important. And I think a lot of people should emphasize, you know, these things.
All right, so let's get back to one of your competition days.
Yeah.
Any of the days, like during Mr. India or Mr. Global, like have you encountered any funny moments or like, you know?
Funny moments.
Something as such.
I think my whole pageant has been funny to me, honestly. There's been so many blunders and ups and downs for me, but I don't know if I have to think of one. I think we were speaking about this last night. I think I was getting on the stage to do a ramp walk in one of the provinces in Thailand, and right before I was getting on the ramp, I think the step collapsed.
Oh.
And I just fell, and this was on live, and there were so many people watching, and I cut my knee, and it was bleeding, and I still had to get up, and I was just like, thank God, this just had to happen at this point.
And it has to happen to you.
It had to happen to me, of course, but again, I had to take it with pride. And
you took care of it.
I did, hoping people didn't look at the scar and the rip on my pants. But yeah, it was very funny.
That's good. Okay, so let's talk something about what really pisses you off.
What really pisses me off, huh?
Yeah.
I hate to say a lot of things do.
A lot of things.
But I just
like let's say two of it.
Two of it. People not being on time. When you know, I make a plan or we have something to do, and people don't respect my time or everyone else's time, and they're not punctual. I don't know, off the top of my head. Another thing that would make me super angry is maybe not being able to take a shower.
Oh shit. Have you taken a shower?
Not being able to take a shower.
Oh, not being able to
take a shower. Yeah,
like
if I don't get to take a shower, I'd just be like super grumpy. I'm like, I like sleeping. Like if I don't get enough sleep. If I don't, like if I don't eat. You know, now that I start saying it more.
That's
if I don't eat, I'm just
one
like,
thing, you know.
I don't want to talk to you. You should.
Hangry. You get hangry.
Hangry.
Yeah.
Hangry times 100.
Well, to talk about mine. Well, I don't like people like, for example, someone who knows me like pretty well, and then you know, right in front of me, like he or she would be like talking nice about me, and you know, sometimes behind me they will be talking some shit about me. I mean, that's the thing I hate about, like, you know, the things that I don't like about people. You know, that is one thing I really hate.
But I think that's a great way for you to tell who is real and who isn't.
Yeah.
You know, the moment you find someone talking behind your back, you know immediately that's the last person you're going to trust.
Very true.
You know, so I think that's a great way for people to scan.
Have you like encountered such thing in your life? And
all the time.
Any like very hard, like very what to say, like something that really pisses you off, that makes you off, like, you know, off limit, or what was it like? You makes you really angry and you do something beyond your anger.
Like, are you talking in context to this? With people talking behind my back?
Talking behind your back.
Well, people talk behind my back all the time.
That is, yeah, that is there.
And there's nothing you can do about it. And you know, there's so many times where things start to get a little bit more personal when it starts going to your family or it starts going to who you are as a person. At the end of the day, when you're in this industry, of course, in this industry as a model or an actor, or even in life, you have to sort of generate a thick skin to you know, what everyone's going to say. You can't really retaliate and say anything to everyone. You need to understand that the people who are going to talk are the people who are most likely jealous of you, or their opinions just don't matter. So people are always going to keep talking. You just need to understand where to, you know, not let it affect you.
Okay, so yeah, just like talking about that, I clicked to some topic where talking about men.
Right.
Like when it comes to depression, men do get depressed.
Of course.
And we don't talk much about it. We don't talk to anyone. Like in case if we go through anything, we hardly talk to anyone, or you know, we don't share it to anyone. What is your say on that? Like, you know, how do we handle this? Because we men, you know, go through a lot of things in our life. We have a lot of responsibility, and yet, like, you know, people will think that, oh, men are the one who is living the heaviest life. But yet we are actually, when it comes to like cases like suicidal case, they are like the number of men committing suicide is more than the women. Yeah, so what do you say on that? Like, any opinion?
I just feel like right now, men, natural to how men are and how the brain works of a man, I think it's very natural for us to constantly have that burden on the back of our head that we need to provide, that we need to be the breadwinner and we need to be the pillar of the family, or, you know, whoever is around us. And I think when you're in that position, there's just so much unnecessary stress on your head, and your brain's just constantly working 24/7. And I think us men, and you know, something I've seen a lot of people is just, it's not that we don't want to talk. It's, I don't know if you guys can relate, but you just don't have the energy to speak about what you're feeling, because you're just gonna feel like, who is actually gonna understand? And that's something I've experienced a lot. Is even if I spoke about what I'm feeling, at the end of the day, it's going to be me who has to deal with it.
That's true.
You know, men struggling with depression and mental health issues is obviously a very, very concerning topic, and something I really relate with and empathize with a lot. Because you know, when you're in that position, it's sort of like a mind block, and you just don't know what to do. And that's when the gym becomes a safe place for so many
Really, like, for example, I as a man, you know, like it's really hard for me myself to share my personal feelings to anyone except for like I'm pretty close with my mom, but yet there are some things that I, like, you know, I don't feel like sharing to them as well. Like, you know, it's really hard. So how do you, like, you know, like, how do you handle all this? Like, do you go through things in life where, you know, like you don't share with anyone, and where you keep it to yourself, and how do you go up with it?
Well, I think at that point you kind of just need to understand that you're in control of your life, and whatever is happening around you is happening for a reason, and you just need to find that mental strength to be able to understand that whatever is going on in your life is a passing phase. It is not going to be there forever. What matters is how you take action and take the necessary steps to deal with that particular situation and move on. And you know, of course, I know that you have been a major pillar for your family back in Manipur, and I can imagine the amount of you know, stress to an extent that might put on you. So and I've seen the way you've dealt with stuff in this journey, and I think that's something that most of us, or most of the viewers who are watching, should take, or at least know that is what you're doing, because a lot of people don't see this side of you. You know, they don't see the hard work that you're putting in to not just develop yourself, that you're also a pillar of support to your family back home.
Correct.
You know,
the only people think is that I'm rich. But I'm not. I'm not, because I have to take care of so many things in life. You know, like, since I don't live with my parents, plus I'm not in my hometown, I have to live outside where there are a lot of expenses.
True.
And it's really hard to live outside.
And you're living in Bangalore, right?
I live in Bangalore,
Oh,
the
that's
most
just beautiful.
expensive place
That is just
in
beautiful.
India.
That's just beautiful.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, like people think that I have a lot of money and I'm very rich, but no, it's not. It's not
Yeah.
like that. You know, I have a lot of responsibilities and I have to take care of a lot of things. I have my niece and nephews. I have my brother. I have like so many
Wow.
things to take care
Wow.
of. So yeah.
And they're all back home in.
My brother is with me in Bangalore.
Okay,
And
okay.
he's studying.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And I take care of his expenses. Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's Mr. Friendship for you guys.
all right. Okay. So we will shift to one very interesting part.
Yeah.
Where I know that you are also into female pageant, right?
We do
Yeah.
end up watching.
And I also watch. Like I keep watching a lot. And who is your top 3 pageant queen?
Top 3 pageant queen. I think this year's Miss Universe Shanice Palazzo.
Okay.
Palazzo did super well. Antonia Porslid, of course from Thailand, was a very strong candidate. I think both these candidates were super strong.
Okay.
From India, Shishmita Sen was absolutely amazing, and Aishwarya Rai.
Okay.
I think these
Yeah.
two have made a very big dent,
impact, yeah,
big impact
in our
in the
country,
pageant
so, yeah.
industry in our country. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, to start with, I'm going to start with the top 3. Top 3 and the first lead. So, yeah, Aishwarya, right?
Aishwarya
She
Rai.
is one of my inspiration
Right.
when it comes to pageant. And second will be Antonia. She's amazing. She's so good. But my first one is, I don't know if you know, she is Miss Grand 2021, if I'm not wrong.
What's her name?
Engfa.
Angfa?
Engfa Waraha.
Okay.
Yeah, she is
I
like-
don't think I'm aware, but
Yeah,
I'd love to know more.
she is from Thailand itself.
Okay.
And damn, like I'm so in love with her.
Oh, really?
Like I really wish one day I
Angfa,
could
if you're
meet her.
watching this, please.
Engfa, you should watch this, and one day, like I really wish one day I would meet her and
Absolutely.
just give her a hug or something.
I know. Or tell them how great they've done.
Yeah.
Well,
I would
Antonia's-
like to know more about
Antonia's
how crazy you are about Antonia.
I'm not really that crazy about it.
I mean, we all admire some. Like
We do. I mean, I really admire the way she's come up from where she was and to where she is right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same with Shanice as well. She started being someone who used to sell ice cream sticks outside her school, if I'm not wrong. And a year later, and she used to be absolutely discriminated for her position in line of work where she first started. And 2 years later, she's just made such a drastic change in her life, and she's the next Miss Universe. So these kind of stories kind of resonate with me a lot because only certain people and people who are in that industry can understand how much work and mental strength it takes to reach to that place. So that's why I just have a lot of admiration for these two contestants primarily, and it's just very inspiring to hear their stories.
So if you are to go for a date with Antonia, for a day, just for a day, okay, just like basic date,
Okay.
what are the things that you would like to cover
What are the things I would like to cover with her?
with her, like
On the date?
on the date?
First of all, I would ask her to take me to some nice restaurants, like for
Okay.
food.
Okay.
And then maybe I don't know, go for like a drive.
Okay. I think that will be a really good thing.
That would be a good
Going
thing.
for a
Like
drive.
a drive around Bangkok because I haven't seen most parts of Bangkok.
You should go back again.
Yeah, I should go back again. Yeah, absolutely. And then I think after that maybe like some shopping or like a picnic in a garden or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's very romantic.
I'm not trying to make it romantic at all, but yeah, I mean something that's fun because I'm trying to cover nature and then city and then food and I don't know.
Well, yeah.
What about you?
sounds
What about
interesting.
you? If you were
Well-
to take Antonia out for a date, what would you
Wow, that's a very interesting
do? I
question.
know. I'm sure it's an interesting
Well,
question.
I think even me, like I would do almost the same. I would go out with her for lunch. No, starting with the day is a breakfast. So starting with a breakfast.
If she wakes up early.
Yeah, I'm sure she wakes up early. Come on. Yeah. So I would, I would go for a breakfast with her in a very nice, cafe or a really nice place.
Right.
And then after breakfast, probably lunch in the I don't know, in the city itself. And after city, I would like to go to the sea beach and dinner out there.
On the beach?
Yeah, a romantic dinner.
Oh, really?
On the beach.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, with a candlelight.
With a candlelight.
Yeah.
You need to take notes, guys.
Yeah, and have a good conversation. That would do.
That would do.
Yeah.
That would do.
And let's go to another topic, which is it should be very interesting because nowadays the youngsters, there are a lot of youngsters who is into pageant now. A lot of pageant aspirants.
Right.
What would you suggest them? Like, what is your suggestion to them? Like, what kind of suggestion you want to give it to them?
Yeah, I think one major thing that I would like to address is getting into pageants is not becoming a model. I think that's a thing we hear a lot, and I've heard a lot is people say, I want to become a model, that's how I'm getting into pageants.
Correct.
You're not becoming a model by getting into pageants. In modeling, you are advertising a product. You're advertising a pair of clothes or a product, right? And when you go to pageants, you are basically showcasing yourself.
True.
Who you are as a person, representing your country, representing a particular area that you're from or community, so on and so forth. So for people getting into the pageant line, I think you need to really be realistic in where you stand first.
True.
And acceptance, because of course being confident and being super sure about you being able to make it is perfect.
Yeah.
But reality hits different, right?
Very different.
So you need to be super brushed up, and a lot of people have this misconception that getting into pageant only means having a good body or a good physique, but it's so much more than that. In fact, I'd say it's barely 20%
Exactly.
of what you get judged on. It's your intellectuality, your general knowledge,
Communication
the ability
skills.
to communicate on a level where you're speaking to so many people. That kind of influence and power that one must have is what is super important for you to make it into this pageant line. And I think till then, just spend a little bit of time knowing and understanding yourself first. Be realistic with where you are as an individual, and then take a call and have realistic plans for yourself. I'd say a lot of people have very unrealistic dreams, and it's good to dream, of course. But then the problem with that is when it doesn't happen, it hits you so much more harder.
True.
So I think that's what I'd share with you.
Yeah, that's very well said, and I think it has covered everything. That's if you want to become someone great in life when it comes to pageant, he has said everything, and it should be realistic. You should be like yourself. Being yourself can take you places. Otherwise, if you are being fake, we can know,
Absolutely.
we can see if you are being fake.
Yeah.
So it's about you standing for yourself.
Yeah.
That's very important, and you should do those pageant aspirants, just keep going on, don't give up, and any kind of suggestion you need, let us know if it is.
We're always free and happy
Please, if you want to message us, just let us know how, what do you want to know, not like hi. How will we reply if it is just a hi?
I know.
How are you?
We could actually do. I think we should do more of these. Talks and kind of like maybe do a live sometime on our Instagrams and just answer a lot of these questions, because I think what we're talking about is very close.
Correct.
But when we're when we do something a little more interactive like that, I think when we keep getting a more broader question, questions being asked by people, I think that would be something that our viewers would, or your viewers would love to see.
Yeah, our viewers, of course. You're watching, so you're talking, so it's our viewers.
Our viewers,
and above that, if in case you want to know anything more beyond this, then let us know in the comment section.
Absolutely.
So that next time when we meet, we can be
we know
we
what
can
to
prepare
speak
and
about.
we know what to speak about.
I know.
Today,
This was our first impromptu podcast and interview. So we just thought we'll start somewhere and just off the top of our head speak about whatever we can. So it was good.
It's
It
good.
was fun, and I'm happy we covered whatever we did.
Yeah,
And,
that's all for today, I should say.
I guess so.
we talked a lot.
We
It was
talked a lot. We talked a lot.
Yeah.
Follow
So-
for part 2. Episode 2 coming soon.
Coming soon. And yeah, thank you so much once again to Jason for agreeing to this.
Thank you for having
this
me,
deal.
brother. It was a pleasure.
And my Google Pay, you have to pay me.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah,
have to
show
pay
me,
me.
show me your
I
bank
have my
details.
I have my bank details
Your
on
bank
my
details,
scanner.
and
so
send
yeah.
me maybe a GST.
Yeah,
an
I don't
invoice,
pay
yeah?
you. You pay me. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it was a really good conversation.
Absolutely,
And,
absolutely.
I'm sure it's a lot of you learned somehow or something from this
Absolutely.
particular conversation. And thank you so much to each and every one of you for watching our video.
Yep.
And looking forward to see you next time again.